Hello, and welcome to Oldies but Cruising, a channel where my husband and I share cruise life, travel adventures, helpful tips, stories, experiences, and honest opinions from our journeys together. This channel isn't about breaking travel news or selling vacations. I'm not a travel agent or a travel reporter. We just love cruising, traveling, and sharing our real experiences, honest opinions, helpful ideas, and memories from along our journeys. The videos are short, easy to watch, and filled with quick travel snippets, cruise ideas, tips, suggestions, and memories from the road and the sea. Thanks for joining me. I hope our adventures inspire you. So come travel along with us, laugh with us, learn with us, and let's make memories together. And don't forget to share your own stories, tips, and experiences in the comments because some of the best travel advice comes from fellow travelers. Welcome aboard. Hi, it's Martha with Oldies but Cruisin'. Welcome or welcome back, and thanks for returning. This is only my second video, and I know I have a lot of improvements to make, but hopefully you'll come back and watch the progress along the way. If you like to skip the introduction, check out the chapter tags in the description window. At some point, I'll appear on screen once I find that elusive camera that can make me look 30 years younger and 30 pounds lighter. I'm still searching for that one. One of the things we really enjoy about cruising in Alaska is that every sail away feels like the beginning of a new adventure. This was actually our fourth Alaska cruise, but our first sailing to Alaska with Celebrity, our first time aboard the Celebrity Solstice, and our first departure for Vancouver's Canada Place. And to make it even more memorable, we were fortunate enough to experience some little extra special, a Helipad sail-away invitation, one of the nice perks of sailing in a concierge stateroom. As it turned out, this invitation wasn't just a one-time experience. During this Alaska cruise, we were fortunate to receive 3 separate invitations to visit the helipad. This one during a sail-away and 2 during scenic sail-ins, which was also a first for us. Each helipad experience brought a different port, atmosphere, setting, and unforgettable memories. Another great feature on Alaska cruises is that during the Glacier Bay scenic cruising, the helipad is open to all guests. Unfortunately, during the Glacier Bay sailing day or cruising day, the weather wasn't that great. We had rain, cold temperatures, and even some snow flurries. So spending time outside wasn't nearly as comfortable as staying nice and warm inside the ship. Still, it was a unique experience, and I'll talk about that more in a future video. Our first helipad event that took place was the sail away from Vancouver's Canada Place. There's just something fun about being in this unique location as you sail away, sipping all those mimosas and champagne, which was actually pretty good, much better than the art auction champagne that we've been offered before. The weather was pleasant, and although it was a little windy, it was a great opportunity to meet and chat with other cruisers, and we shared experiences of the excitement of being on this cruise. Celebrity Concierge and Captain's Club representatives hosted each of the helipad events. Other crew members also joined in, mingling with the guests, answering questions, and even snapping photos with guest cameras to help capture this experience. Leaving Vancouver, ahead of us was an Alaska-bound Holland America ship. One thing many first-time cruisers may not realize is no matter where you cruise, Alaska, the Caribbean, the Mediterranean, or elsewhere, you're rarely alone out there. Cruise ships often share the same waterways, routes, and ports throughout the journey. So while Alaska may feel wild and remote, during cruise season, there's actually a surprising number of ships sailing these itineraries. There are 8 major cruise lines operating in Alaska this season with more than 24 ships, busier than most people might expect. One thing that often surprises people on an inside passage cruise is just how close you are to the land for much of the voyage, often only within a few miles or even closer to that shore. It gives you incredible views of forests and mountains, waterfalls, small coastal towns, and even wildlife along the shoreline. Because the route is protected by islands and coastline, the waters are usually much calmer than on a typical open ocean cruise. Sailing from Vancouver tends to remain inside those sheltered waters for most of the trip, while Seattle departures usually spend some time in the open Pacific Ocean before reaching the Inside Passage. I also definitely recommend bringing a good pair of binoculars on any cruise, but especially Alaska. Between whales, seals, bald eagles, just coastal wildlife, the waterfalls, the mountain scenery, there always seems to be something worth taking a closer look at. Another nice perk of sailing in a concierge class is that there are actually but 2 pairs of binoculars provided in the cabin. The highlight of the sail away was cruising down Burrard Inlet and passing beneath the Lions Gate Bridge. Unfortunately, that's really the only video footage I managed to capture. Sorry for all the still shots, but hopefully you'll get the idea, and yes, I'll get better in the future. Look, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. No, it's just a sea float plane accompanying us as we leave the inlet. And yeah, you got a sneak peek of Bruce and I. We're not just caricatures, we're actually people. Passing beneath the Lion Gate Bridge is one of the unforgettable moments of the Alaska cruise and the sail away. The views from the helipad as we sailed beneath the bridge were absolutely breathtaking. There's something pretty special about seeing the bridge from a perspective most people only experience from above while driving across it. After passing the Lions Gate Bridge, we continued sailing through the beautiful coastal waters of British Columbia as the Vancouver skyline slowly disappeared behind us. The scenery quickly shifted from busy harbor views to peaceful stretches of forested shorelines, distant mountains, and calm open waters. One of the things we always enjoy about the first day on an Alaskan cruise, or really any cruise, is how quickly you settle into that relaxing rhythm of the voyage. Guests begin exploring the ships, you enjoy the outdoor decks, and just simply taking in the scenery as everyone starts looking towards their adventure. As we continue northbound towards Icy Strait Point, the weather and scenery keep reminding us why Alaska cruises are so very special. Even while simply sailing between destinations, the views are often just as memorable as the ports themselves. Of course, eventually another important decision has to be made: dinner. One thing we really like is to be able to check the Celebrity app ahead of time and to see what is on the evening menus. That usually decides where we're heading, whether it's the main dining room, the buffet, the grill, or somewhere else on board. Another good thing about it is that if we want to book a specialty restaurant, we will look at the menus on the app and decide which evening we can skip the main dining room. Because I don't really want to skip the main dining room if they're serving lobster or prime rib. So that kind of helps us decide where we can go, when we can go, and actually if we can get into a specialty dining. So many choices are available, we never have a problem with eating. Our next stop will be Icy Strait Point. I'll be posting additional videos covering the new parlor venue on the ship, more helipad experiences, and our very first visit to Icy Strait Point, including what we did and what we experienced and just some of our thoughts about the port. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you'll know when I post new videos. Wherever your travels may take you, we hope you'll join us again soon. Remember to share your stories, tips, and experiences in the comments. Until next time, travel safe, stay adventurous, and keep making those memories. Happy travel trails to you until we meet again.